Hello everyone and welcome back to the desk here at our HEX Bash coverage. We're going to be heading into our first round 4 feature match of the day. Let's get updated real quick before I forget. We're going to be having Sorin versus Sadystik. Sadystik was the only undefeated player in the Swiss portion of the Cosmic Crown Showdown last weekend, and they are currently 3-0 in the Bash here today. So let's go ahead and head on down to the feature match area and check out Sadystik versus Sorin. Alright, so it looks like here, so last weekend in the Cosmic Crown Showdown, Sadystik was playing the Blood Wild Deathcry deck, and here they've changed it up for this week. They're on the Blood Spinner Zorath. So Blood Spinner Zorath for 5 charges creates a Dread Banner, which is a constant that generates a Dreadling every single turn. And we have on the bottom side of the table here, an old faithful here. It's been probably the most popular deck we've seen today.
This looks like a new deck.
We have Sorin here on Blood Sapphire Diamond Control, whatever these colors are, on the old Dreaming Fox Faithful, the Wakuna Coin special here. So let's go ahead and get these players underway. Reasonable hands from both sides of the table. Yeah. I especially like the multiple copies of Vampire Prince on Sadystik's side.
As a person who has I don't really use the aesthetics. I really actually like the aesthetics in this one. The control players playing the Matriarch of Flame sleeves, and the more dirtily players playing the Into the Unknown sleeves. It's pretty good stuff. It's pretty good stuff.
You see here, Sadystik actually had a very good draw. We get to curve the Zenthos Malice into the Vampire Prince. Zenthos Malice is kind of one of the engine cards in this deck. Yeah. So it allows them to pay 2 life to put 4 Spiderling eggs into their opponent's deck, or they can sacrifice a spider to draw a card and gain a life. And I mentioned that Dread Banner that Sadystik's champion makes. The ones it makes are Dreadlings, which are spiders, which you could sacrifice to draw cards and gain life.
Yeah, Zenthos Malice is another card that we've just forgotten about almost, partially due to Lasgar's Vengeance, and there just isn't really a home for it. Hopefully this deck's pretty nice, and we get to see it do its thing.
We do see an Into the Unknown here in Sorin's hand, but importantly, they're missing the second Sapphire Threshold, so they are not going to be able to get that going. And we see a Withering Gaze here drawn from Sadystik.
Yeah, this is really nice curve out here from Sadystik. The turn 2 Zenthos Malice into the turn 3 Vampire Princess is pretty potent. The Runebind gets that off the table, and yeah, like you said, we're missing a second Sapphire, and we just drew a Weave into nothing.
That's another double Sapphire card. Imagine if these Wakuna coins were ice and we were Fate Weaving Resource at the top of our deck right now.
Pretty good. So Sorin here has... Okay, going to go ahead and Clash of Steel here.
I like this Clash of Steel. It's a little bit aggressive, but it makes Sadystik choose between their Suspended Princess and the Zenthos Malice. Yeah. A Resource is an amazing draw for Sadystik here. It lets them take the Into the Unknown out of Sorin's hand and then deploy this Vampire Princess underneath the Weave into nothing.
Oh, we get to see those. Alrighty, so went ahead and took the Into the Unknown. So Sorin's left with a Weave into nothing, Eldurathan's Glory, and a Silver Talon Adjudicator in hand. And Sadystik goes ahead and jams another Vampire Princess down.
A Resource is actually a fantastic draw here for Sorin because it allows them to play the Silver Talon Adjudicator while drawing 2 cards.
Man, just still missing the Sapphire, though. Even after that, just still missing the Sapphire.
They are going to be able to use this Eldurathan's Glory to clean up the to clean up the Vampire Princess at least.
Look what Sadystik drew.
He drew the Into the Unknown.
The Into the Unknown. So Sadystik has Blood's Favor here. It looks like this is drawing a couple cards. Yep.
Okay, hitting the non-slow Resource here is so huge. This lets them activate their champion power for the turn and strangle the Silver Talon Adjudicator.
Yeah, it's very good.
We mentioned Vampire Princess was good in the control matchup, but we didn't mention why. So every time this card deals combat or deals any damage to the opponent, you get to look at a card at their hand at random, and if we look at an action, we get to take that action away from our opponent. So you can see here, Sorin has 2 actions in their hand. So this Vampire Princess is a 50% chance to take a card out of Sorin's hand here.
What do we got?
We missed.
Whiffed. Man, just the unluckiest. Lost the coin flip.
Okay, another guidance here. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a guidance before the glory.
Yeah, I gotta figure out.
That being said, Malice plus Dread Banner is online here now.
It's quite the engine here.
The Sadystik is going to be drawing 2 cards every turn for the rest of this game until Sorin finds a way to take one of these 2 cards off the table.
Yeah, and Sadystik's follow-up is okay. There's a Bride of the Damned, which is another card we haven't seen today. Bride of the Damned, a Blood Ice, and the Into the Unknown that we've transformed.
Bride of the Damned is a very powerful threat, so it's a 3/3 with lethals, which is like reasonable stats on its own, but every time you give him a Blood Threshold, you're going to give an opposing troop -1/-1 permanently. Again, Hex tracks modifiers through turns and zones, so that's going to permanently shrink something on the other side of the table. And when you have 5 blood thresholds, like this mono blood deck often does, whenever their troops die, they come back into play under your control.
Yeah, quite the combo here. I like it.
We see Earthen's Glory come down here and get rid of the Vampire Princess like we implied it would. Strength.
This could be good.
Strangles is a really good draw here. It lets this Dreadling attack in, and if the Earthen's Glory blocks the Dreadling,
Get the Bride.
you get to strangle it. No, you don't want to bride the Glory, because if the Glory comes back, it's going to void your bride.
That is true.
So Sorin doesn't take the bait here, doesn't block the Dreadling with the Glory, playing around that Strangle. Withering Gaze here, going to take the Weave into nothing most likely. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised to see Into the Unknown as well. We're a resource short for that. Apologies.
Not
we
bad.
could see Sorin activate their Zenthos Malice this turn.
Is that card still good? The Silver Talon Adjudicator? Is that a good one to draw here?
Ooh, small missequencing on Sorin's part here. They attacked first, which means they're not going to get to gain life with the Silver Talon Adjudicator.
So
of course, I guess they could have just paid life anyways and it would have washed, but you don't give your opponent a chance to make a mistake through this sequencing. Yeah,
so with that, Sorin's going to be at 22 and Sadystik's at 19 with this Silver Talon on the chain here. And Eldorathan's Glory in play, and Sorin's stuck with just the 1 card currently. It's the Guidance.
I like this. So you see the Zenthos Malice activate, so we put 4 eggs into Sorin's deck, and you want to do this before the Silver Talon draws cards because you want to give them a chance to draw the eggs you're putting in.
Definitely. Good sequencing there by Sadystik.
Now, one thing that's a little bit awkward is this Bride of the Damned is going to get to come into play next turn, and then we can strangle this Silver Talon Adjudicator and get it back into play under our control.
This is really good here.
Which is going to gain Sadystik life and draw Sadystik cards.
This is really good here. So Sadystik going to go ahead and strangle this Silver Talon Adjudicator and this with...
Oh, and we hit a Spider Egg too.
Spider Egg also,
yeah. Yep.
So Sadystik is with the Into the Unknown in hand, Blood's Favor, and just drew 2 cards. And there's a...
You see the Weave into nothing. Back up here. So the Withering Gazes, again, they put the cards into Sadystik's deck so they can draw them.
They are certainly doing stuff.
Really would have liked to draw 7th resource there, but drawing 2 good non-resources also isn't anything to be too terribly sad about.
Silver Talon.
All right, another Adjudicator.
I mean, that's the way we get in it, I suppose. Yeah. Yep. We're looking for, like, Clash of Steel here, I think, is the card.
Okay, we found the Into the Unknown.
Into the Unknown, not bad.
So, like, here's the problem, though. Do you Into the Unknown this Bride of the Damned, or do you Into the Unknown the Zenthos Malice to draw all these cards?
This is very difficult.
Okay, now we're Into the Unknown of the Malice, right? Now So, because we found Earthen's Glory here to clean up all of the troops in play, we're probably going to see this on the Malice. Yep, I like that. Turned it into a Nightfall there. So now there are no more copies of Zenthos Malice inside of Sadystik's deck here.
This is really good again. This is really good again for Sadystik. So, Into the Unknown, Blood's Favor, Strangle, the Weave into Nothing and Nightfall, and a Vampire Princess in hand here. With the Bride of the Damned on the table still, we have a line to strangle the... Oh, that's really good.
We got the Glory.
Got the one in hand also.
He's going to get him with all of his own cards because we get to weave into nothing. Oh, and now we get to draw cards with the Adjudicator too?
Yeah, man.
This has just been... This game, I feel, has been a clinic on you can beat these Diamond Sapphire decks if you want to. And with Lazar's Vengeance going away, you're going to be able to want to beat them more often.
Yeah, and we've taken the Eldorathan's Glory off of the table now completely.
Which is really the Diamond Sapphire control deck's only sweeper.
Yeah, we're looking for that or Clash here, and it's pretty dire for Sorin at this point.
There's more Spider Eggs in our deck still that are flipping out. So Sorin's at 16 here, and there's 8 power on the table. So this is going to be lethal in just 2 short swings, and we've got Weave.
Yeah,
we've got Weave to protect ourselves.
This is pretty good. Sorin going to go ahead and jam this Arcane Focus and picks up a Transmogrifade, which isn't awful, but we're pretty far behind.
It's not great. I mean, like, you can make the Spiderling blockable, but, like, you don't have blockers anyways. The average 3-cost troop has 2 to 3 points of power, so you're really not downgrading this Silver Talon Adjudicator in a meaningful way.
Yeah, this Nightfall plus these troops are going to do pretty good. A Rock
The
Cast.
Dread Banner's giving you more as well.
Yeah, the Dread Banner.
Draw a couple more cards here.
Dread Banner plus Nightfall is basically 2 a turn here, so...
Oh, there's a Nightfall, too.
Yeah, the Nightfall is really good.
Taking a crack for 9 here, all the way down to 6.
Going down to 6 here. I guess Transmogrifade is something. Yeah, I don't know... Okay.
All right, we turned it into a 1-1. Sure.
Something.
Still dead on board.
At 8 now.
I like just holding weave up here.
Yeah, absolutely. You have plenty of pressure on the board from Sadystik's end, so Sorin going to play a Diamond Ice and probably try and empty out their hand here. It's Ethereal Caller.
It's going to make a second blocker, at least, right? Like,
yeah.
This makes a Phantom when it comes into play.
Yep.
So...
It used to be an Eldarthan's Glory, so...
Once upon an Eldarthan's Glory. Well, Kuna, look out here. I feel like we're just, like, treading water here, trying to stay afloat.
Yeah, this is... Made a Vampire Prince off that with... holding the Dark Heart here.
That's interesting. Like, so, like... Holding the Dark Heart plays around stuff, but at the same time, like, can you really afford to be playing around stuff? Like, are we winning a game where we're playing around things?
And these Blood Favors have been real good. On top of the Silver Talon Adjudicators, I wonder how many extra cards Sadystik has drawn this game. It's got to be at least 10, right?
It's a lot, yep.
Yeah, we're just coming in here for Sadystik's end. So Sorin's at 7 right now. Gonna Transmogrifade our own into a Tinkertron. Okay. Got it off the table. So
I like it. So we killed the Silver Talon Adjudicator. Clever line by Sorin there. I don't know that's going to be enough to win this game, especially with this weave is just like looming.
It's
here.
just lingering.
And Sorin doesn't even know that it's there, right? Like.
Yeah, Sorin's at 4 here. There's 3 Spiderlings, on the table. Yeah, just packs it in. Just
this is definitely we still had all these. What a moment! It's like we got you dead no matter how you slice it. Really.
Pretty nuts. That was a cool game. Showcased a lot of the cool mechanics that HEX has to offer too.
So what kind of cards do you expect out of the reserves for these players?
Yeah, so here Confounding Ire is going to be humongous.
Yeah, usually see a couple copies of those at least
for Sorin. Confounding Ire is going to be pretty good. Maybe if there's another Clash in there. Maybe another Into the Unknown for something like Zentos Malice.
Usually see something like Dreadend. Do you think something like that is good in this matchup? Or
that's hard to say. Dreadend certainly has spots where it's good, but also has spots where it just doesn't impact the board really.
Yeah, we play a little more Protect the Queen type strategy where they're sitting on one troop for the entirety of the game.
And then on Sadystik's end, just more Withering Gazes, more Culminations, and just if there's not 4 Zentos Malice, there's going to be post board, you would assume. So.
All right, and we have here.
That's a good card too. But we didn't have
Journey to Nightmare. Mulligan for Sadystik. Down to 6 cards. Pretty reasonable hand for both players here, even though Sadystik's down a card. Vampire Prince is a great draw for Sadystik. So Vampire Prince, we saw this get milled over last game. And this card is great, especially when you're on a mulligan, because not only does this card apply pressure, but it also has the potential to generate card advantage for you. So every time this hits Sorin's going to bury the top card of their deck, and then if it's a resource, Sadystik gets to draw that resource.
Yeah, pretty good one. So we're going to Withering Gaze Sorin here, and Sadystik is going to see Sapphire Shard, Into the Unknown, 2 Rune Binds, and Into the Unknown, and a Silver Talon. And took the Guidance, excuse me.
We took the Guidance. That's interesting. I like this line from Sadystik because Sorin has multiple points of interaction in their hand, so that means if you can't take the multiple points of interaction, they'll take out some of their smoothing.
It's going to be pretty rough here for Sadystik. We picked up a second copy of Vampire Queen. It's a 6-drop, and we have no more resources.
Well, to be fair, if Sadystik just draws a resource for the turn, which we did not, playing this Vampire Prince out immediately like that is very, very smart on Sadystik's side, because we want these Vampire Princes to generate advantage, and Sorin's been punished. We had the Into the Unknown, but we waited until Sorin got into their main phase, and Sorin recognized that and capitalized on that mistake. or Sadystik recognized and capitalized on Sorin's mistake there.
Yeah, not bad there. So Sorin has quite a bit of tools. A pair of Rune Binds, a Transmog, and a Silver Talon's going to be pretty brutal here for Sadystik.
That being said, Sadystik did hit their
third resource.
Their third resource here, which means this Blood Favor can hopefully propel them into more resources. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a Rune Bind get burned out.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Rune Bind's probably going to happen here.
I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I don't hate trying to slow them down.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is the same, though. Sorin doesn't have a ton of resources left over, so like spending a Rune Bind, remember, Rune Bind is card disadvantage if you're not leveraging it with something like Clash or Dark Heart.
Wow.
So
Interesting there. All right, well, Sorin's on trip Rune Bind here.
Awkward. Brick on our resource.
Full house.
Here. We do have the fullest of boats over here.
Full boat for Sorin, 3 Rune Binds and a pair of Transmog Fates. It's gonna be probably enough to bridge the gap here. It's gonna be kind of close.
I like the aggressive strangle on the Silver Talon Adjudicator.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we didn't play the Nightfall out, like holding up Casualty of War for a Dark Heart, I suppose.
Yep.
And we found resources 5
good.
and 6 here, so we're gonna get to play these Vampire Queens.
A nice full art. Yeah, we're Sadystik's back in this game, to be honest.
I feel like we've gone from Sorin being pretty
Just
far ahead.
down and out.
So like now Sadystik's hit all of their resource drops and Sorin's kind of stumbled. And again, I kind of want to come back to that Wakuna coin that Sorin's playing. Like they played that Wakuna coin and had that been an ice, they'd have hit their 5th resource this game.
It's certainly hurting here. So
and like that 5th resource maybe means that the Silver Talon Adjudicator would get to draw some more cards.
And this Vampire Queen is real terrifying on Sorin's end.
So Clash is Sorin's best card at this point. Aldurthan's Glory would be the best card, except we don't have 5 resources to cast that currently.
We just don't have it. Yeah, Sorin going to go ahead and Rune Bind that, which I don't hate. So Sorin is, for the draw step, is an Arcane Focus. We're just digging for resources at this point, I assume.
Yep, and again, like the Silver Talon Adjudicator is just a 3/2 with Flag. Like Sadystik has less health and less cards in their hand.
Yeah, just a 3/2 here. So Sorin is looking through this Arcane Focus here, has Into the Unknown, a pair of Rune Binds, pair of Transmogger Fades, Silver Talon Adjudicator, and just picked up an 11-cost Psychic Ascension.
You know what my hand that's missing is a 3-source drop always wants?
An 11 drop?
An 11 drop,
yeah. That's a pretty good one.
To be fair, we do have 5 cards in our hand that could reduce this cost at least.
Yeah, Sorin has a lot of cards here. This is going to be kind of an interesting one.
Okay. That's a little aggressive, but we Into the Unknown the Rune into a Locket of Reflection.
Nice.
Okay.
I like it.
Locket could be good.
It could be.
Like, what if they're playing 3? They don't have another Vampire Queen. That's sad.
That is sad, isn't it?
So Locket of Reflection here, not very good in a deck that's not designed to use it. Whenever you play a non-resource card, if you have exactly one more card with that name in your deck, you get to play the second copy for free from your deck. So.
Alright, so Sadystik is left with a Blood Shard, the Locket Reflection like we talked about, and a Casualty of War, but has a pretty commanding board of a Nightfall Dread Banner and the Vampire Queen and her children.
Alright, we found a guidance that found us an ice. That means we're going to guarantee our 6th resource drop now.
Yeah, this is scary stuff right here, though.
So the Vampire Queen, we haven't zoomed in to talk about this card yet. So when she comes into play, she summons 2 Vampire Children. And the Vampire Children, when they diligence, that means when they're ready for the first time, they turn into either a prince or a princess.
Yeah, we've seen her children, but we haven't seen her yet. So,
so
she brings along a posse.
She brings the royalty with her.
Coming in here. It's going to put Sorin likely down to 14 unless we pull the trigger on some of these Rune Binds or Transmogs, which it might be time with the Psychic Ascension.
Yeah, honestly, you probably just want to tick this Psychic Ascension all the way down. You're so far behind our way to get back in this game. I like the Transmogger Fate here on one of the Vampire Children.
Yes, the children
honestly,
are
we just transmogging both? Yeah, I kind of like transmogging both. Because
wow, look at that, too.
This Vampire Queen is just like a 3-power life drain. Like, we really don't care about that, right? Like, this is beatable.
Here comes the Locket. And the Blood Shards. So now Sadystik's stuck just with a pair of removal spells and 3 power in play. So Sorin might be able to dig out of this. I'm not counting him out yet.
Potentially. And again, this ice gets more ice, and ice gets another resource. So we're going to see a 7th resource
and honestly,
come out of Sorin next
time. And this Silver Talon could put him up. Yeah, it's going to put him up to 21 here. So
And I like playing this out because our resources are kind of tied up here for the next couple of turns. There's almost certainly a resource on top of the deck. So if we don't see a Withering Gaze here, I like where Sorin. Oh, there's two Blood Favors.
Oh, baby.
The Locket. Remember we said the Locket wasn't going to be good? I should stop saying stuff like that.
That's a good one. This is going to be
Is drawing
nice.
4 good? I can't tell.
You have to runebind one of these as bad as it feels.
You can't, right? Like, you'd have to runebind the second one, I guess?
It feels so bad. It makes your Psychic Ascension online next turn.
Okay, I don't know that I love runebinding the first Blood's Favor.
Okay.
Because this means if the second one draws a resource, the other one recasts.
Yeah, that's real. Oh,
it made a constant, which stunned this. And then exactly what we said happened. We get to go ahead and replay this.
Yeah, like literal worst case scenario here for Sorin. Sadystik getting paid off for playing the Locket Reflection in his deck. Coming in for 4 here. Sorin's going to take a trip down to 16. Sadystik up to 24.
This is going to be a close game. This might be one of those games where Sadystik is far enough ahead on board that the power from Psychic Ascension is not going to be enough to dig Sorin out. Yeah,
we're going to need Aldurathan's Glory here pretty quickly.
I like committing the Vampire Princess here. Just like saying, hey, if you have your thing, you have your thing. If you don't have your thing, you're going to get run out of this game.
And now Sorin's actually just like priced into casting, playing this Psychic Ascension, right?
Yep.
Because of the Vampire Princess being on the table?
Yep. You probably see an Oracle Song get generated first here. And then we can Psychic Ascension to Ascend, and then we can Runebind the Princess to like not lose the Runebind to the Oracle Song out of our hand.
This is going to be a tight one.
It's not pretty, but Sorin could get out of this.
This is going to be a tight one.
You want to use your Champion Power on the Dreaming Fox side before you Ascend, because on average, the Oracle Song is going to generate you more value than having the extra charges for your Champion Power would once you Ascend.
Hero Fall comes out. Sorin has ascended to the Paragon of Thought here. Doesn't have any more resources available, but it's a decent 15's pretty decent here. Sadystik coming in.
Runebind on this Vampire Prince. We make a 1/2.
Get a blocker too.
We get to block the Dreadling. That being said, post combat, this Bride of the Damned is going to take this Cavern Creeper.
Bride of the Damned? Why are you so good? So Bride of the Damned comes down here for Sadystik. Going to play a Blood Shard, and it's going to trigger the Bride of the Damned, giving a -1/-1 to an opposing troop, and we have 10 Blood Threshold, so we're going to go ahead and get the Cavern Creeper on our side.
You'll notice Sadystik chose not to activate their Champion Power for the second time, and I like that. It kind of plays around to Clash of Steel. Like, you always want to ask yourself, I'm this far ahead, how do I catch back up? And
that's
Clash of Steel is definitely one of the cards. There's Zeldurthan's Glory. That being said, Sorin is at 12 here.
Yeah, we're down to 11 from the here. Oh boy.
That's Zenthos Malice.
Oh boy. Yeah, so we're down to 11 here for Sorin. The Zenthos Malice coming out.
God, what a slog.
I don't know. It's so tough.
Do you Runebind this?
That's the thing.
If you Runebind it, you prevent him a draw, right? Okay, I like it. You get an extra blocker.
And you get a blocker, yeah.
All right, kinda. I guess we haven't played
the resource.
We haven't played a research, so now we get to take the Thunderfields here, which prophesizes into our deck, so we're going to get to draw another card later. We put another banner in play. I like the banner now. Okay.
I'd argue the Sadystik deck is twice as good as any other deck in the format currently, because he gets to play everyone else's cards.
Alright, we see a chump block here, which is going to bring the Cavern Creeper over to Sadystik's side. That being said, the Aldurathan's Glory is going to do a nice job of taking this board and cleaning it way
that
out.
Guidance is good. Did you see that one? I believe it's double prophesized.
Single prophecy, just a single
one?
prophecy.
Okay.
Yep. So probably see I'm not sure I love this. I think I would have preferred to see Glory first.
Oh. Yeah, to make sure you get your
to make sure you get to keep your troop that you generate. I also think I might have taken a resource off of the guidance, because then you can activate your Champion
Paragon.
Power.
Yeah, there's some small things.
Being down this blocker here is kind of huge, because
the Dread Banner,
there's two Dread Banners on the other side of the table. And like, this Casualty of War actually means we're just on a 2-turn clock, right?
Double Casualty, just in case. Yeah, that was pretty big.
Like, what are under these rooms? We've got a Vampire Princess and a Zenthos Malice here. So like, if Sadystik draws a resource here, they're gonna put Sorin in the ground.
Strangle.
Okay. I mean, Sorin's still gonna be dead on board here.
Yeah.
Do you think Diamond's Favor is good against the Constance deck?
God.
So remember, Diamond's Favor can make your opponent sacrifice a single constant. I bet Sadystik has spare constants. Oh god, what if there's exactly one more strangle in his deck?
Oh,
exactly one more strangle
man.
in his deck. Oh, we got
confounding art.
we have a confounding art. I was whew.
Yeah, I'm hot. I was hot there. That was good.
Oh,
yeah.
we hit the shard. Okay, yep. We hit the Vampire Princess, and the
dead.
Princess is lethal, right?
Yeah,
because
dead.
we've got the 1 point
from the
Nightfall. From the Nightfall. Okay, yep.
What a sweet game this was.
Sadystik ground through the Paragon of Thought.
Man, that was a sweet game.
That's usually you have to get under the Paragon of Thought, but sometimes you could just like you draw all the cards and then
You play a Locket Reflection and you can't lose.
I love this from Sadystik. They're dead on board, have no resources. Let's load their deck up with eggs. They're not conceding. I'm gonna put all the eggs in your deck.
I like it too. This is good.
Have a bunch of eggs. In fact, I might put more eggs in their deck before I attack for lethal.
Are you supposed to draw cards here too?
Oh, I would. I am 10 out of 10 drawing cards. You're gonna sit here and let me play? Of course, I'm gonna draw some cards.
Oh yeah, perfect.
God bless Sadystik. A person after my own heart. Heart, really.
What a sweet match that was.
That was, and again, like, I think with Lasgar's Vengeance being a roof in the format on Monday, we're going to see a lot more mid-range games like that where there's going to be a lot of back and forth on both sides of the table. I'm really looking forward to it.
Do you think the blood-based deck's kind of like what Sadystik plays makes a return?
I think Sadystik's deck, so this deck has had success in previous bashes, but I think this is also one of the decks that gets one of the biggest legs up from the format changing a little bit because we're losing Lasgar's Vengeance, which kills Prince and Princess and Bride of the Damned.
Yeah, we talked about during the game. We talked about Bride of the Damned, and Zentos Malice, just like forgotten cards, really. And you saw they really pulled their weight there against the Diamond Sapphire.
They're very good against the Diamond Sapphire deck. Yeah. At any rate, we're going to cut to a quick lunch break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for watching, folks. I really appreciate it. We'll be back with the rest of the Bash coverage here in a little bit.